Give me check, check, double check. Yeah. All right. Welcome, everybody. Bombini Turende, Pontari. Good afternoon. Welcome to DevFest 2023. This is our second DevFest, and we're the chapter GDG San Nicolas. So yes, we're this small island in the Caribbean, and we belong to the GDG group, which stands for the Google Developer Groups. And we are lucky to be part of the Latin America region. As you can see, I'm pointing out Aruba as I try to be very secure and accurate about it, but kind of missed it. But hey, that is Aruba. And in October, I was in Bogota, and I've seen and I've got to know a lot of people from South America and Central America. And what really resonated is that the sense of community, unity, and that technology brought all these people together. And it's very nice to see that all these GDG groups, GDEs, and women tech maker groups came together and share knowledge. Share the knowledge, and we as a small island can be part of this. I was the only person from the Caribbean there, but we're not the only Caribbean chapter. We have more, and I would like to introduce GDG Port of Spain. Roxana, are you there? Roxana. Okay, technical difficulties. Yes, Nicholas, good afternoon.
Oh, hi, Joe. There you are.
Yes.
Hi, how's everyone doing?
Nice, nice, nice. Thanks for being here. And
How's everyone
we're
doing?
missing two of the GDG chapters from the Caribbean, GDG Nassau and GDG Georgetown, but I hope soon they join in. So yeah, tell me all about GDG Port of Spain. What is the experience like? What did you guys achieve? Or yeah, you tell me about it.
Okay, sure. Google Developer Group Porter Spain chapter. It's based in Trinidad and Tobago. I believe we launched in 2018, if not 2017, and every year our main events are DevFest events like this. Although we have other meetups, DevFest by the most has been the largest, and we always like to collaborate with the other Caribbean chapters. So since then, we've had GDG Georgetown come on, GDG. We worked with GDG Port-au-Prince in Haiti, GDG Santo Domingo, and of course we have GDG. What was so many as GDG again? So GDG Nassau, right, from the Bahamas. And recently we have GDG Bridgetown in Barbados. So it's been so great to see the proliferation of all the Caribbean wide GDGs. And, we're really thrilled to be here and to support of your event. And as well, of course,
All
you're
right.
welcome to join our
It's a
event
pity
as
that the
well.
other ones ain't reached yet, but it's nice to hear your experience. And you guys are in this since 2017 or 18. That's quite a long time.
Sorry. Mhm. Sorry, I didn't hear that last part. Yeah, it's been quite a ride, and we love doing it. We love bringing the communities together, and we love collaborating with our Caribbean and even Latin American GDGs. We are part of the Latin region, and GDG Latam is so great. They are very supportive. There's so many experts willing to help and share their expertise as well.
Technology in Trinidad, let's say in the public services, because I think we all have the similar issues, but just with a different spice.
Yeah. Yes, that's
Wait, let me
something that was really
check, double check.
interesting. Like every time we collaborate or we watch the Dev Fest of another GDG,
Yeah.
it feels
All
like we're
right.
listening to the
Welcome, everybody.
issues in our own country. It feels
Bom
like the
bonito
whole
Enyo,
Caribbean
Bokali.
country,
Good
whole
afternoon.
Caribbean region is
Welcome to
in one
DevFest
in facing. We
2023.
have the same kind of
This is our
problems,
second DevFest,
same kind of
and
challenges. So that's why I think an
we're the
approach where we
chapter
all come
GDG San
together to share
Nicolas.
different perspectives, initiatives like that, such as DevFest like this,
So
I think
yes,
it's
we're
really
this
important.
small island in the Caribbean, and we belong to the GDG group, which stands for the Google Developer Groups. And we are lucky to be part of the Latin America region. As you can see, I'm pointing out Aruba as I. Yeah, sorry about that.
No problem.
So, so it's pretty interesting that you guys also have
No problem.
some sweet challenges.
Sorry, your audio is a little. Sorry, your audio is a little bit low. I don't know. It's not coming quite across on stream. Let me try to. Yeah, yeah. Very similar. Sorry.
Now, when trying to apply technology to solve certain challenges,
Sorry. Yeah, that's a big thing of what we kind of want to do at Google Developer Group is we really want to support and really want to share how we can use the tools, technologies available for us to solve and approach these challenges. Of course, we're Google Developer Group, so we're very much interested in Google products, APIs, and services, but we still have a holistic approach to tech. So any kind of technologies that you use may not be a Google product, but we still want to embrace and help developers share their stories and their success stories because technology is just the means to get to the solution we want, right? And while at the same time, Google has so many great services like Firebase and Flutter and Kotlin for mobile development, Android Jetpack. They do a really great job in supporting developers for with very generous free tiers, freely available resources. And that's the great thing about being a GDG organizer, is that we can connect developers to these kind of resources, to experts, expertise, guest speakers, training, and maybe even like resources like Google Cloud vouchers and whatnot. So that's, I think, what's really great about running these kind of organizing, really, I should say, these chapters, is being able to help people get where they want to be
That
with the
sounds really
resources that
interesting. So
Google
basically,
shares
what
with
you
us.
guys experiencing or been going through and having all these connections, we as a, let's say, a new chapter could also delve into it and get the support and help where needed.
Yes, of course, and we're always here for any little thing that you all be going through. We would have probably seen those
Awesome.
problems as well, so we're
All
always
right.
willing to support
Now,
you
the
when we
other
can.
two never came up, so I would like to thank you for your time, and we will move on to the following speaker.
Of
Nicholas,
course,
thanks, and hope maybe I might see you next year in the next
of
Google
course.
I/O Connect.
Oh yes, yeah. Oh yes, yeah. Google I/O Connect was great. It was so great seeing meeting with you and the other organizers for the region. Thanks again for having me. I really wish you all a great event.
Thanks, boss.
I'll be here in the
Take
comments,
care.
or you can just message me if you need anything. Okay. All
Hi, I'm great. Thank you so much for inviting me, and I'm super excited to join you guys and
All right.
share
The
my
floor is yours.
experience as a women tech maker. Okay,
Yes.
let me know when I'm
Your
showing
screen,
you
the
guys.
presentation.
Charging is loading. Let's give it a
Yeah,
few
technology at
minutes.
its best.
Charging is loading.
Sometimes you have to,
Let's give it
yes,
a few
okay.
minutes.
Do your
Okay,
thing.
now you can see it, right? Few
Yeah,
seconds, not minutes. Okay, now you can see it, right? Okay, so I'm gonna start. So thank you so much. I'm super excited to be part of the DevFest in Aruba, San Nicolas to be exact. I am from Colombia, Cali, Colombia to be exact, but I am located in Medellin, and I got the fortune to be accepted as a women tech maker. So So the agenda for this presentation is a little bit about like getting to know me, then about the program of Women Tech Maker and how can you become a member, and then how you can become an ambassador because it's not the same thing. We're gonna talk about what are the benefits of joining the program and the benefits of becoming an ambassador, and what are like which are the qualification for you to be accepted or to apply for the program, and then how to apply. Okay, so a little bit about me. I am born and raised in Cali, Colombia. I live in Medellin, but I'm a Caleña. Not in the Caribbean. We're more in the Pacific area of the country of Colombia, and my city is like 2 3 hours away from the beach, basically from the Pacific Ocean, and I'm in the Pacific region, which means that I'm located next to most of the Black communities in the country, which are in the Pacific region. We also have a lot of Black people in the Caribbean, San Andres, up north, but I'm from the Pacific region of the country. I'm an economist. I've always been working in tech, leading product projects, even though I went for economics as my major, but I've never worked in research. And I am an active leader in Pioneers Dev. and also a co-founder of Digital Diaspora, which is a community that encourage Black people that already work in tech to be more visible and to be an inspiration for young people that wants to join this area and learn a lot and give back to the community, basically. So now getting into the topic about the program. Basically, the Women Tech Maker is a Google program that provides visibility, community, and resources for women that are in tech, that already work in tech or are transitioning into working in tech. How can you become a member of the program? So basically, the membership consists on providing resources to you and access to events, resources, information, and tools from Google in advance and to the Google partners in the whole global ecosystem. So you don't need to basically apply to become a member. You can do it online in the Women Tech Maker Google site, and you can become a member right away with your Google account. And since you sign the membership program, you're gonna be able to access and to get a lot of like newsletters and online events, in-person events. They're gonna let you know in advance of some new technologies that are gonna be released, improvement, features, etc. So now, once you became a member, there's also the possibility to become an ambassador. So for you to become an ambassador, you do have to do a little bit more to be able to apply and then get accepted. So basically, the Women Tech Maker Ambassador Program supports women in tech who are looking to create an impact and give back to the communities. When you're a member, you can give back to the community, you can create an impact, but you're not required to do any task that demonstrate that you're giving back or that you're working towards the improvements of your communities. And you're also just gonna be able to access to information, to newsletters, to things and tools that are gonna improve your life quality and to let you know what's going on in Google. But once you become an ambassador, you are gonna be required to engage actively with community in different areas that we're gonna discuss further. And you have to be more visible leader, and you have to be required to act on a certain task on a time period. Since this is a Google program, a lot of people sometimes get confused about what it consists to be an ambassador, and it doesn't imply that once you get accepted into the Google program of a Women Tech Maker Ambassador, that you're now working with Google. You're not going to be working with Google. You're going to be a beneficiary to one of a lot of the Google communities that already exist. So it doesn't mean that you're going to work with Google. Google is allowing you and your community to use the image of Google communities to reach out maybe more people, to guarantee that you're supported by them. You can have some economical support, financial support, a lot of like training, leadership wise, and technical training. But it doesn't mean that you work for Google, and that's very important to clarify for people. And also that it's not a job, like you're not gonna be paid to work and to volunteer once you are an ambassador and if you are a member of the program. This is just a giving back opportunity, and also is a win-win when it comes to personal branding and to network connections and getting to connect with more people that are in your same page from all over the world, basically. But it's not a job. We wish it was, but it's not. So besides the Women Tech Maker program, Google empowers and encourages a lot of communities that are under the Google community name. So we also have Google Developer Student Clubs. We have Google Developer Groups, which is this one that is hosting this DevFest. That's the big event of the GDG groups all over the world. You can also join and become a Google developer expert. There's certain steps, qualifications, and like hours of volunteering and giving back and reaching out to people to become an expert. Then is the Google Ambassador, Women Tech Maker Ambassador program. That is the one that I'm talking about, and is designed towards women in tech to try to reduce the gender gap in tech that we already know exists. And we also have Grow with Google Online program, which is a program with a lot of online resources, a lot of online training, free and available for everyone in the world. It's in various languages, but I'm sure it's in Spanish and English, so you can join right now and like take advantage of the opportunities that Google has for you to learn free. And you also have the Women Tech Maker member survey, which is basically just getting newsletters and information updates on Google technologies and on certain periods of time. So besides Women Tech Maker and the GDG groups, there's also a lot of communities sponsored by Google, covered by the Google Communities program that you can be part of. It depends of like what you're interested, what point of your career you're right now, and like your skills and upskilling that you want to do. Now, if you want to become an ambassador, there's some benefits and then some responsibilities that you have to make sure that you accomplish. And we're gonna start first with like the benefits. So first of all, you're gonna be able to access to a huge network of ambassadors from all over the world. It depends on like your language capabilities, but you're mostly gonna be able to communicate through Slacks groups, to in-person events, through like the Instagram profiles of each Women Tech Maker region group. So it's amazing that you're able to connect, get mentorship, get feedback from women that are maybe some steps ahead on your career, and maybe you can give back to women that are just entering in this technology field, and you can help them out and give back. Another benefit, if you're working in your management and leadership skills, you can be able to lead and keep a really active role in your tech communities. You can work hand in hand with the GDG, with like Google Developer Student Groups, with all of the Google communities and other communities. It doesn't have to be covered by the Google Community label, but you can join and lead in different groups. You're gonna have a lot of from Google to Women Tech Maker ambassadors. So it's really good if you want to improve and work on your leadership skills. Other than that, you're gonna learn a lot. Like Google had a lot of talks, live and pre-recorded. They have a lot of like training boot camps a few times in the year. They have Google for Startups that help you build your idea and grow it bigger and launch and everything. So you're gonna learn a lot for free, basically just being able to be part of this network. And finally, you're gonna be able to shine. You're gonna be able to be recognized by the impactful work that you do. You're gonna be able to be very visible to the community, and not only your community but to the world. You're gonna be included in the worldwide directory that Google has, with all of their Women Tech Maker ambassadors and their expertise, and you're gonna be able to get contacted by people that wants to like network and connect with you. So it's very exciting. This is the start of my application to the Women Tech Maker Ambassador program. This was at the beginning of the year. We're getting close again to March. Once you're an ambassador, you have the responsibility to celebrate one way or another the Women's International, like the International Women's Day. So this year. It was in March in Medellin. I was able to join the organizing team of the event. We had a full house. It was amazing. We got to connect and work with all of the women communities of the city, and we got to bring this event together. It was very successful. We had full house attendance, even though we have like people like waiting for a spot to be able to access. And once you start to connect and work hand in hand with women that are already part of the ambassador program, they can sponsor you and reach out to the managers of the program to have you on their mind for your next application if you're interested in doing that. So it was the event, our the motto of the event, the logo was Dare to Be, and everything was surrounded about that. So it was very fulfilling for me to be able to be part of something so meaningful for the local community, and knowing that was I was being part of it, encouraged me even more to get my profile ready to apply to become an official ambassador and not just a volunteer or a member of the newsletter of the community. Additional benefits when you are part of the ambassador program is that you get to join the Google Nation or the conference for all of the Google communities of the region. In this case, since we are in Latam, we got to go to Bogota this year, a few months back, and we got to connect. We got to be hosted at a very nice hotel. Every like all of the foods were covered, all of our days staying in the city were covered. So it was very nice, very helpful to be able to access to this type of spaces where you get connect and you're comfortable and you're being well treated and you're being basically congratulated for the work that you're doing within your communities, and you get to be motivated by people doing amazing things also back in their home countries. A picture of a lot of women tech maker ambassadors from different parts of Colombia, different parts of Latam, like Venezuela, Chile, people from Bogota, people from Medellin. I am from Cali. The other girl is from Cali. So it was amazing to connect with women that were doing similar things as us, but like in different locations. We're being moved by the same purpose, which is basically giving back to the community and work on our leadership skills. So it was a very, very meaningful space. Once I became a women ambassador, I've been working a lot on like my personal branding, and that exposure had helped me be reached by people that want me to be part of their events as a speaker. And it's amazing to be able to join different panels. For example, in this panel, we talked about like what's being a women in tech, with a differentiating factor, which is like what's women in tech being Black, and a women in tech that is indigenous, and a women in tech that's part of the LGBTQ plus community, and a women in tech that is an immigrant, so she's just navigating life in a new country. So it varies. It's just not about being a woman that works in tech, which is already challenging, being that we are a minority, but it is being a minority within the minority, which adds more challenge into the equation. So it's very meaningful to me to be able to work in my personal brand, to shine as part of the benefits, and be able to join these amazing spaces, and to try and like get aboard um, into new spaces, into new places, into new people. Okay, once you become an ambassador, like what can you do once you are named officially an ambassador? So you can organize events. You can become a speaker basically, and just give talks like the one I'm doing right now in this DevFest. I can create resources like videos, blogs, reels, anything interactive, and I can be a mentor to others. So if I want to be an ambassador and I want to give back to the community, but I'm not really good at like building huge events with a lot of people, I can impact still another women's and people in general by doing different type of content. So I can just become a speaker and work a lot in like Google technologies, or I can work a lot in like soft skills and give a lot of speaking engagements about them. Or I can just, if I am shy and I don't want to do speaking engagements either, I can just post blogs or open up a YouTube account, or just post on like TikTok or social media content that I find interesting, that is of course produced by me and that I know is going to impact positively to my community. And I also, if I do not want to create resources, if I do not want to write a blog, I can just be mentor to others. So it depends on my specialty, depends on like what I'm doing with my life, it depends on what I went to school for, what I got my master's on. I can give back just mentoring one person, and just that is just enough for you to be considered an ambassador that's giving back. Whatever path you choose, the whole point of it is that you're guaranteeing that you're giving back to the community one way or another. Okay, so now that you're super excited about like becoming an ambassador, and like you already know what's the deeds, like what are your commitments, like what do I need to do now, like what are the next steps. So basically, their basic requirements to become an ambassador are that you have to be 18 years or older. You have to be active leaders in your tech community with at least 1 year of experience organizing events, speaking, creating resources, blogs, or mentoring, or all of the above. But you have to be doing it actively before you apply. So it's not like you saw this speaking engagement and now you want to apply immediately to become an ambassador. It's not gonna work like that, because you have to have previous experience giving back to community, doing any of the options that I previously mentioned. So other than that, you have to be interested in upskilling your skills. You have to be genuinely interested in Google technologies, learning about them, using them on your day-to-day basis, creating content, mentoring, and giving speaking engagements with new features and everything related with the Google technologies. You have to be an advocate for Google technologies, because it is a community by Google. So it just makes sense. And last but not least, you have to be willing to actively participate in the program and commit time to executing any of the community's activities that I already mentioned throughout the year. In on average, you have to have like 10 hours of commitment of like giving back per year, which is nothing, because if you are already a leader in communities, if you already have a speaking engagement, if you already produce content online, like 10 hours is nothing compared to the time that we invest to volunteer and to give back into our people. Now, let's talk a little bit more about like responsibility wise. So, you have to perform once you are accepted into the program, once your name appeared on the platform. Sorry, you have to perform any of the following activities in your tech community once every 3 months, which is again nothing compared with the amount of work that active leaders in community already do. So if you are women and you want to be an ambassador and you are already a member of your GDG community in your local hometown, it's just a given for you that you're able to apply, because you're already doing what's supposed to do, and you just can keep doing it and like upskilling a little bit more and accessing to more information, but it's already what you have been doing for a while. Also, you have to participate in program benefits, including like networking events, community building, and development sessions, which are great for your professional career, for your personal growth. These spaces are amazing. They're planned throughout the year in different time periods. You have to be very aware of like your emails and the requirements to join the program, and just leave the fear behind and just apply and join and take advantage of the opportunities to learn for free that Google has once you're an ambassador. Of course, you have to adhere to program guidelines. So once you're applying, in the forum, there's like a huge text with just basic common sense of like how you as a human had to act in community. So you have to commit to those guidelines. If you are applying, you have to sign those up. So if you had signed them and you, for some reason, do not adhere to any guideline, it's most likely that you're going to be taken out of the program. That's not very common, but it's good for you to know that you are working with a community by one of the huge companies worldwide. So you have to adhere to some type of like rules, basically. And lastly, you have to commit our mission, like the mission of Google and the mission of Women Tech Maker, to build a world where all women can thrive in tech. So if you're a woman that already works in tech, that last requirement responsibility is the easiest one. Is just a given. So now, how do you apply? Well, unfortunately, right now the application are closed for the year, but they're gonna be open for next year, and it's most likely to be open after the International Women's Day. But my personal recommendation is that you become a member right now. You can join into the Women Tech Maker Google site, and once you're in there, you can just become a member, so you get updates when the application to become an ambassador is open. So make sure you sign yourself up for newsletter, and once you get newsletter, you read them so you know when the application are open, what do you need to do, what fields do you need to fill out, and you're prepared and ready when the date comes. Okay, thank you so much. I want to thank again to the DevFest of Aruba, to the GDG group to invite me into this session. I'm really glad I got the chance to share. I hope for the next DevFest I'm able to go in person to the event in Aruba. I would love to be there. And for now, we can just connect on social media. Since I told you, I am a member of Pioneras Dev, which is the largest community of women in tech in the country. And I am the co-founder of Digital Diaspora, which is a community for Black people made by Black people. So please let's follow us on Instagram and feel free to reach out. The other ones are my personal social media. So let's connect on LinkedIn, on Twitter or X. I refuse to call that thing X, so it's Twitter for me. And to Instagram, those are my ad names. And again, thank you so much for joining this speaking.
Shoot. Yes, Veronica, thank you for your input and all information about women tech makers. It's pretty impressive. How many members do you guys have at the moment in your Women Tech Makers chapter? No.
I don't know. I see in the chat that someone like I don't know. I see in the chat that someone like Maria Divina O'Brien said that she wants to hear about digital diaspora. So yes, feel free to reach us out on social media, on our Instagram. We're like way more active, and we're planning like we have a lot of plans for 2024. So would be great to connect with like more Black people from all over the diaspora. It doesn't need to be from Colombia. We're trying to reach out
And
to
my
as
question, how
many Black
many
people as
members do you guys have in your chapter at the moment?
in which one?
In the one you're representing? Women Makers
In which
Medellin,
one?
right? No, the Women Tech Makers Medellin.
And digital diaspora? Okay, women tech makers in Medellin. We are like, I might be wrong, but we're like about like maybe 10, less than 10 women tech makers ambassadors in the city. I am mixed because I am from Cali, but I live here. So if you look in the page, I'm gonna be located in Medellin, but there's just another girl back in Cali. In Colombia, there's like close to 20 women tech maker ambassadors. Maybe if one of the ambassadors is watching right now, can correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, we're trying to build up community, and we're trying to encourage girls that are already part of the tech communities that are not ambassadors yet to apply for next year. So the bigger, the better. We can build more if we are more, and we can create
All
more
right.
amazing spaces to
And
give back, to give
young
back
women
to
that are
girls.
not in tech, but they want to get into tech, is it recommended that you sign up to Women Tech Makers?
Yeah, this is a yes. I will totally recommend you to sign up into the Women Tech Maker membership program, which is free, and you can do it in like 2 minutes, and you can access to a lot of like the resources that Google has for you. Besides Google Tech Makers, Google has, as I told before, the um, Google for Google for Students. But the other one, the most important one that I want to mention, is the Grow with Google online program that is amazing. They have courses for free from scratch to a little more seniority level, so you can learn in your own time at your own pace. Any technologies you can program, you can focus on marketing, like anything that involves Google technology is basically on this site. And so far, I know it's in English and Spanish, available for free. So it's great. I did the certification in Grow with Google in like project management. It was amazing. There were things that I already knew, but it's always good to like freshen up your knowledge. So it's free. So I reach out. If I encourage you, if you don't work in tech, but if you're interested, start with free resources. So join as a member of the Google program, and join Grow with Google, the free online courses, and do it on your own pace, and reach out to members of your local community to sit down, to ask for mentorship, guidance, to build a roadmap, etc. Anything that can work for you, and to upskilling your
No
career,
further
and like being
questions.
able to transition into tech.
No online questions. No. All right, Veronica, thank you for your time, and again, thanks for joining us.
Bye. Thank you so much
Yes.
for having.
Ciao, ciao. Okay,
Okay,
our next
bye. Thank you
speaker
so
is
much for having me.
Winston. Winston, are you ready? Okay, he's almost ready. He's preparing.
Winston de Greef. Oh. Have a look. Okay, okay. Hello everybody, I'm Winston de Geef. I'm 15 and I go to Colegio Arrobano. And today I'm going to tell a story about Firestore security rules. Now, let's say you want to learn how to work with Firestore. The best way to do this is to make something with it. And what better to make than a to-do list app? Truly a classic. But because this doesn't use many of the Firestore features, you decide to put the following twist on it. Make it like a social media. And every social media has a homepage. And on your homepage, you want to have a list of the most recent to-dos. To do this, the to-do needs a timestamp to sort by. The to-do will also include the user ID that created the to-do and, of course, the to-dos themselves. Now, you have to secure this and secure your database. And you do that with security rules. Now, here you see the security rules that you can use to do this. Request.resource.data refers to the document that is trying to be written, and request.auth.uid is the user ID. So the first line makes sure that the user ID matches up, and then the second line allows anybody to actually read the to-do. Now, you quickly make this front end, and then you send it to your friend John. He makes an account and posts a to-do list. He tells you should probably add profanity filtering. So you look it up. How do you add profanity filtering to Firestore? And all the websites say you should use Cloud Functions. But you don't want to use Cloud Functions because you remember this headline. And you don't want to lose 72,000K like them because of some small bug in your code. So is there a way to do profanity filtering without using Cloud Functions? And there is. You find this library that includes a regular expression that will match most profanity, of course not all, and Firestore Security Rules has regular expressions. So you can test the regular expression to the to-do, and if it matches, you know, well, shouldn't be including that. But this example only checks the first to-do. And because there's no loops in Firestore, you have to add all the indexes manually like this. Well, 10 to-dos, like, it'll fit in your code, it'll look fine, and 10 to-dos, it's reasonable to only have 10 to-dos in a to-do list. But can we do better? Yes, we can. First, you start by encapsulating the code to filter one to-do into its own function, and you call that from the filter to-dos. And then, with the power of recursion, you double the amount of to-dos you're filtering in one go. And then you double it again, and 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 again. And with just those few extra lines of code, you're filtering 512 different to-dos. Now, you just need to add a limit to the amount of to-dos in a document, and you're done. Wow. Now, later, you're looking at the documentation, and you spot the SHA-256 function, which is a hash function. And this reminds you about how Bitcoin mining works. A miner would choose a nonce, and then they will hash the entire block with the same function, SHA-256. And if it starts with n bits 0, the block is mined. If not, the miner will choose a different nonce and try again. And you can actually implement this in Firestore security rules, like this. So this will check one hash, and if it matches, or if one of how you use this is you make try to write a document that includes the transactions and the header. And then if it writes, you know that one of those 512 nonces must work. So you can check on your PC which one of that is, and you can mine the block. Otherwise, you'll just have to change the block a bit and try again. This was unexpected use cases for Firestore security rules, how to mine Bitcoin. Thank you for your attention.
Thanks, Winston. Very impressive. How did you came up? What inspired you to use Firestore and go down this route to understand all of this?
Well, I was also looking at the documentation and I saw this function and I thought, well, that's how you mine Bitcoin. So I decided to see if I could implement it, and I could.
I'm speechless. I'm very speechless, but hey, totally awesome.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, we will take a small break, and then we have the following speaker that will be Lucien. Nicholas, if he comes. Grabe. Oh. No, you. All right. We have the following speaker, Lucienne Laclay. The floor is yours.
Essa aqui também? Tu doce também?
See. Let me see.
Sim? Eigenlijk niet begonnen, dus ik heb er niet mang, toch? Okay, hello. How are you guys doing? I hope everyone is doing good. So today I'm going to speak about my role as a product owner and how does it fit within a product-centric organization, and also the challenges on Aruba with regards to transforming to a product-centric organization, because this is something that is still very much modern for the islands. So yes. So yes, this is me. I'm Lucienne Laclay. I'm a professional Scrum product owner, certified product owner. I know that is a that's a mouthful. But basically that means that I am certified at scrum.org to carry out any practices with regards to Agile Scrum as a product owner. Yeah, and the things that I stand for is, of course, tech is fun, work is fun. That always should be the case. And my biggest vision now and aim in life is to understand the working industries on Aruba, and also let's create a tech sector on Aruba. That's what I'm working on. So yes. Maybe I can say my background also with regards to the projects I worked on. So I have 5+ years experience in the tech industry. I was always a product owner. I entered this industry based on my study. I did an internship during my minor specialization at my bachelor's degree. Basically, it was about business process management. I had an opportunity to do a internship, and that's where I landed in the fintech industry, which is for the debt collection processes. I received my first tech project, which was to create an online portal to automate the complete debt collection process at this company. So it was like the definition of throwing me in the seas with a bunch of sharks and trying to survive. But we've made it. It's still live, so everyone can go have a look at it if you guys would like to. You can't log in. You can only log in if you have that with that specific debt collector. So yeah, that was my first project, and then basically they hired me, and I conducted a bunch of other projects with regards to APIs, machine learning, like business process improvement within the application itself. Yeah, a lot of different projects. On Aruba, I came back 3 years ago, and I worked in a mortgage in a pension company. However, they have a subset that sells that provides mortgages, and there I developed, of course, together with a developer, a mortgage software. And currently, I'm working on I'm a product owner of a web and mobile application at a bank, and the two products that are fully in my responsibility are the digital onboarding project and also the all loans. So yeah, that's my background and the projects and products I'm working on. Do you guys have questions until now? I want to make it a little interactive, so if you guys have questions, let me know. So what I'm going to speak about today is, of course, the role of a product owner, Agile Scrum, challenges and opportunities as a product owner on Aruba, and from what I've heard based on my other colleagues as other product owner colleagues, the challenges and opportunities from other islands as well. and transform into a product-centric organization. That is something that's very important if companies would like to implement more tech products and want to be more tech forward. So the role of a product owner, basically, the way I always explain product ownership is I use the example of Steve Jobs. So Steve Jobs is a visionary of Apple. He was the visionary of Apple. He envisioned everything. He created the teams, and he makes sure to get everyone aligned to his vision in order to launch Apple. That's basically what a product owner is. A product owner is one specific role in Agile Scrum, and it ensures to guide developers and also from the business side, collect requirements from the stakeholders or the users to create a product. So we define the vision. Based on the requirements we collect from the stakeholders or the users from user behavior analysis and so on, we create a product backlog, and also we prioritize the features that we are going to implement next in our mobile and web application. So with regards to collaborating with cross-functional teams, so how this is working currently is, for example, in the company I'm working at and other companies, of course, we have different departments. So within each department, you have a key stakeholder that you have to communicate to. So how do we collaborate between those is basically with the Agile Scrum framework. We have specific sessions implemented. I'm going to show you guys in a bit to collaborate cross-functionally within teams. However, this is a challenge I'm going to come back up to discuss what my experience is on it and how do I see it as opportunities. So yeah, as I mentioned, balancing stakeholder, like a product owner, our main task is to understand both the business side and the developer side. We have to be the middle ground for them in order to steer everyone into the right direction to create a awesome product that is going to actually add value to the users. Oh, sorry. So this is Agile Scrum. Not sure if you guys have seen it before. I think so. For all my peeps working in tech, if you're not using Agile Scrum, you're not working in tech. Just FYI, everyone. Not joking. No, Agile Scrum is the key software development or product development framework to be implemented in the tech industry because it focuses on agility and more and fast release as possible. So continuous improvement, continuous innovation, and so on. Yeah, so let me explain what Agile Scrum actually is. So as you guys can see me, I'm a product owner. Actually, that's a man. It had to be a woman, but I don't know why they did it like that. But that's me, a product owner. And you see I'm standing above the user story and the product vision. So basically, as I mentioned, one of the product owner's responsibility is to gather requirements from the stakeholders, communicate it to the developers, and see what you can create in a user story. A user story is basically going to be your feature within your mobile or web application or your proprietary application. It depends on which application you're working on. So you have your user stories, and of course your user stories has to match your product vision. After that, of course, you have your product backlog, and a product backlog is basically your to-do list. Like Winston mentioned, he created a to-do list. You created, right? So you create a to-do list, and that's basically what product backlog is. It's a long to-do list on everything that you have to accomplish and implement within your application in order for it to add value to your customers. Very, very important, adding value to your customers. So after we have that defined and again prioritized based on the customer needs, we of course have meetings. Who doesn't have meetings when you're working? Hashtag professional life. Why are we doing this? But okay. So we plan meetings at the sprint planning. In the sprint planning, we sit with everyone and we discuss, okay, what are we going to work on next? Is the load that the product owner categorized for everyone enough or too much? That's also, of course, everyone in the team has, of course, like every saying in, hey, you know what, this is too much for me to work on. You have a question?
How do you decide what to put in the
What
product
funny?
backlog? How do you decide what to put in the product backlog?
Yes, that's amazing. Oh my God, that's an amazing question. So basically, let's assume we're in a very tech-forward company, in a company that we're based on, we're customer-centric, we're data-driven, and so on. And with regards to the data-driven, you have, of course, your application is launched, and then each user is using your application. Then you conduct user behavioral analysis. So based on your conclusion of your analysis, you understand, okay, you know what, I see this as a bottleneck. So let's assume that we have a process of 5 steps. But at the second step, you notice based on your data that users are falling out continuously. So as a product owner, you have to analyze, or you have a user experience analyst also that conducts analysis and says, hey, you know what, this is a problem and this is how we can solve it. So if we see, for example, during a sprint of 2 weeks, we identify 3 problems, but we see that the one problem has like 90% of our users, then you know, hey, you know, this is something that we really need to work on because 90% of our users are facing this problem. So that's basically one example, but you can also do it like that's in a beautiful world. But you have companies also that are not conducting user behavior analysis. So how do they prioritize specific product backlog items? It's either they communicate within the company itself with stakeholders, or very wrong, they do it themselves. So it really, really depends. I would rather the first one, because that's when you as a product owner and tech company is providing value to your customers. Did I answer your question? Yeah. Okay, so we have, of course, sprint backlog. In the sprint backlog, that is where we, the development team said, you know what, okay, this is the product backlog. I understand what you want, Lucien. And from the 10 points that you've assigned or requested for us to work on, only 5 things I can work on. That's the sprint backlog. The sprint backlog are all the items that a development team has committed to. And it's very, very important for when you commit to something and also in life that you follow through it. You know, it's okay to let things go sometimes, but your word has to be the way that you live. You have to stand by your word. So that's the same for Agile Scrum. That's what the commitment of sprint backlog is. So I want to mention one thing about a development team, because Agile Scrum, of course, is a framework that launched in the tech industry. However, more industries that are not tech related are also incorporating and implementing it within their organization. So the development team does not always have to be developers. They can be other type of people also within the organization. So that's a misconception that I want everyone to start understanding. Because that's only when companies that are not in the tech industry know, okay, you know what, it's relatable, so I can actually implement it. So then we transform it to more of an Agile Scrum company and Agile government, hopefully, very soon, so that we can launch a tech sector. So the Scrum Master is basically the key person that oversees the whole process and says what we've done wrong, what we've done good, and how we can improve. That's basically Scrum Master. And of course, we have daily stand-up, and the daily stand-up is that, so everything that we've committed on in the sprint backlog, every day we meet up with each other 15 minutes a day. Hey, you know, answer 2 questions. No, okay. So the daily stand-up, we have to answer 3 questions. What did you do yesterday? What are you going to work on today? And are there any bottlenecks? And also, what I like to do also a lot is ask people, are you happy? Because a happy team produces better results. So, are you happy, guys? Hey! Okay, perfect. So we have delivery. After the amazing, let me see, three rituals. So product backlog, the planning meetings, sprint backlog, and of course, review and retrospective. So after the 2 rituals, we have delivery. And during delivery, we do review and retrospective. So review is basically giving a demo on the features that you've implemented within your application, and retrospective is just analyzing your emotions. This is what all the teams I work with love so much, speaking about their emotions.
What should a developer do if they underestimated how much time a feature takes?
Oh my God, that is amazing. One of the developers I'm working with is actually on this live, and this was that one. I see you, but no, I don't see you. But this is a discussion we had actually on Monday. So basically, he mentioned to me, but for me, Lucian, it's difficult to estimate the duration I'm going to work on this ticket. So I don't like how do you want me to, refine the ticket and make sure that I can commit to it and finish it. So it's not a straightforward answer I can give you. But the product owner's responsibility then is to understand what the feature is going to be, and then the product owner has a responsibility then together with a developer to break. So for example, we have to build a boat. So we have to identify then what is the most valuable product. What do we have to release first for the boat to work? Let's say that's our product vision. So if we want the boat to work, just to be on the ocean, what do we need? We need, for example, like a frame, and we need X, X, and X. So by splitting the task like that, you get a better view on what you have to develop, and then probably estimate it a bit better. Then you can commit to it.
Well, what I specifically wanted to know is, what if a developer commits to doing a bunch of things, but they can only do like half of them?
Exactly. Yeah. So, yeah, it's based on ticket refinement. You have to be able, the product owner together with a developer has to be able to refine the ticket. So break the feature in very small portions in order for them to know, okay, you know what, this is the amount of time I have to work on it, and I can actually commit to it. If you don't break your tickets into pieces, you cannot have that bird's eye view and then give a proper estimation and then commit to it. Because then you're going to commit to 10 tickets and then you can only deliver 2. So ticket refinement is very important, breaking it in very small pieces.
If I may add something?
This is it.
Yes. If I may add something, as you was mentioning, the refinement is a really important part. And what I've also noticed is sometimes it's really difficult to estimate tech debt. So if it's a new problem, how do you know how much time it will take to deliver? So what I've noticed when I was working in another company, what they did was they put the tech debt not in a sprint, because when you put the tech debt when you put something in a sprint, you have deliverables. So they put like a pre-time slot about tech debt, and when it's like a week or 2 weeks, you can see it as a refinement, understanding what it is, so they can understand how long it would take in order to put it in a sprint. Because sometimes the problem is something new. So as you mentioned, you don't know if you can put it in a sprint, even though if you're trying to refine it. And when you're figuring out the problem, you will take new problems. So it's really difficult to estimate the release date within a sprint. So what they often do is they use like a gap for like tech debt in order to have a better scope about the items they would like to deliver.
What I'm really trying to get at is that the ticket splitting or something there goes wrong. So the developer overcommitted. What should the developer do once he has overcommitted?
If they overcommitted, so from the 10 tickets they only implemented 2. There's no like, hey, you've done something wrong or so. It's just you release less features, but it's not like, oh my God, we're going to fire you. But to avoid overcommitting, ticket refinements into small pieces is very important. If you do not do that, you're going to overcommit and not deliver. And it's completely fine. I don't know, did we answer your question? Yeah? Otherwise, we can have a conversation afterwards. Yeah, the engineer has a question.
Now, I wanted to know, in your experience, how much of the human factor makes the Agile Scrum, the whole flow work? For example, here in Aruba, how is it different in Europe than here, in your experience?
Okay, awesome. That is a very awesome question. So, as I mentioned, I only worked in, no, not only because there's one company I haven't worked in that's not fintech, but other than that, all has been fintech companies. And the name of the industry says it all. It's a fintech company. And what I'm getting to is the culture. In Europe, they already have the tech mindset, the product mindset, the continuous innovation and improvement mindset. So the implementation of Agile Scrum is much more easy and everything goes just very, like, it's just like a natural way of being. On Aruba, it's a bit more difficult because, of course, as I mentioned, on Aruba, we don't have a proper tech sector, or we are not implementing proper tech frameworks into our development or daily processes. So it is a bit difficult, and the human component of that is you really have to be very, very patient and eager to teach other people and just pull them continuously, like, hey, let's do it, let's come, like come to the rituals. It's important for you, this is the benefit of it, this is why we're doing it, the why. That's very important, letting people understand the why, because if people don't understand the why, then why should I listen or follow you, so there is a very big difference in implementing it in Europe and implementing here on Aruba. But yeah, Howard, do you have something to add with regards to the implementation of Agile Scrum in Europe and Aruba? Or JP also? You guys also? Okay.
I think the I think the main thing you mentioned is the culture. And when you, for me, I worked in a tech company and then in a corporate, both in the Netherlands, and it was quite different. It was also a difficulty on trying to work via you use the Agile Scrum rituals and the processes from Agile Scrum, or the framework, but they didn't. Not the whole company use it.
Yeah.
And you cannot be the only department working Agile Scrum.
No. Yeah.
So it's really difficult that part. So it's the culture, as you mentioned, of the companies that are in the tech industry.
Yeah, so you really have for the implementation of Agile Scrum, or for a company to transform to more of an Agile practice, you have to have a proactive mindset and attitude. You have to not give a fuck. Like, let's go, let's do it, you have to have that mindset. So yeah, that's basically Agile Scrum. Anyone that wants more info, let me know, and then we can sit and have further talk on it. So challenges and opportunities as a product owner, especially on Aruba. And if anyone else from the islands would like to give their point of view on this, would be nice. I don't know, can we see if the other people from the islands can give input on it or not? Okay, while JP is searching for that, I'm going to just mention what I've identified as challenges. Basically, the main one is the lack of knowledge and integration of the product owner role within organizations. So on Aruba, I am noticing that the product owner role is launching more and more. However, the definition of a product owner is still yet to be clarified and understood by senior managers or executives, like senior executives. So basically, a product owner, how does it fit within the product development world? The product owner, normally in a perfect world, is the key person that makes the decision for the whole product. On Aruba, on the other hand, a product owner is basically a person that collects requirements and puts it in a to-do list, and you develop it. A product owner on Aruba still does not have sufficient power on decision making, and that is very, very sad. especially if we want to launch, establish a tech sector on Aruba. You have to be able to, you have to implement a product-centric mindset organization. You have to implement such a mindset, because everything in the tech world revolves around products and not projects, because you cannot innovate a project. You can only innovate a product. So under lack of knowledge and integration of the product owner role is something that is still very mind-blowing for me, especially for people that work in tech. So the misconception of that. Also, traditional corporate governance structure. In Aruba, we still have a very traditional corporate governance structure. Basically, what you see is you have different departments, and you have, for example, silos, centralized teams. So you have, for example, a customer service department, you have a sales department, you have a marketing department, etc. And then within each department, you have a manager, a supervisor, and a team. So if you have to convert to a more agile organization, you do have managers, of course, but the main structure is going to be of, like I showed in the Agile Scrum framework. So you have a Scrum Master, product owner, and then your developers. The challenge here on Aruba is that that cannot fully be incorporated because we have a traditional structure still. Yeah. So what do I really like? What I'm going to is this. Oh yeah. This is what I mentioned. So when management wants you to be a product owner, but you have no rights to make decisions. So basically you're just a slave, collecting requirements and then trying to create an application. That's daily struggle. So as I mentioned, for us to establish a tech sector on Aruba, or for more and more companies to implement technology and like properly implement technology and properly make use of it and actually make a change of Aruba, we have to change more to a product-centric mindset, a product-centric organization, a organization that is fully customer-focused. Based on user behavior analytics, we identify problems from the outside in, not the inside out. A lot of companies on Aruba do inside-out development, and what I mean with that is companies make conclusions and decisions to implement certain things based on what they think the user wants, but not what the user actually wants and needs, you know? So yeah, a key component to going to a product-centric organization is you're going to be more customer-focused, and we're going to actually provide the user with valuable features and valuable applications. Also, another component is, as I mentioned a bunch of times, continuous improvement and iterations. And iteration is very, very, very important, and especially for what Winston mentioned. So we have, we committed to a specific sprint, and we're going to release. So a proper definition of the tickets within each iteration is very important, because it directly relates to the company's continuous improvement and, of course, adding value to the customer. So another one is cross-functional collaboration. And this is the one that a lot of companies on Aruba are not yet implementing. And so as I mentioned, we have a traditional corporate governance structure and a cross-functional collaboration. How do I see it? So if you have a product-centric organization, I see it as, okay, so how are you going to create decentralized teams? So decentralized teams means that different peoples from a person from different departments are going to work with each other seamlessly by implementing a centralized space of knowledge. Okay, so what do I mean with that specifically? You have a product-centric organization, and of course you have your daily business departments. So let's assume you're a debt collection company. you have your debt collectors, you have your standard departments. So you have your debt collectors, you have your legal team, you have your call center. So those are the core services that a company really needs in order for them to be successful, because that's their core business. So where does decentralized teams come in and related to product-centric and technology is you create different sorts of centers of excellence. So you create a product owner center of excellence, developer center of excellence, marketing center of excellence, business intelligence center for excellence. You can go wild. So what these center of excellences do is that they define specific practices that you should implement in your definition of your product. So for example, let's assume we have a product owner center of excellence. You have 5 product owners. Those 5 product owners know how to define the frameworks and practices that you have to implement when carrying out, implementing your product. And then you're going to streamline those in different products. And then you're going to use the other people from the other center of excellences also implement it into specific products. They're going to also implement their practices. And then what you're going to get then is you're going to have more of a decentralized team, because you have centralized it before by conducting research, etc., implementing practices and frameworks, and then you're decentralizing it by allocating it to specific products. I hope do you guys, yeah?
How do you conduct the research? How do you conduct the research?
Which type of research?
The one that was just mentioned.
Which research, Jesus? Can you explain? Which?
No, it was something that you said, and it popped a question in my mind.
Let me see. So do you mean research with regards to which practices to implement in each center of excellence? Yeah? Okay. So basically, like, a center of excellence means that you are an expert in your field. Like, I'm an expert in product development. So when you're an expert in a field, it's like industry knowledge, which frameworks you should implement. So when you know, for example, me, I know there's Agile Scrum. So if I want to get to know Agile Scrum more, I'm just going to research it more, and then I'm going to communicate it in the team, the Center of Excellence for products, and then together everyone brings in their feedback, etc., and then we define the framework that we should implement and decentralize it to different products. So that's where the research parts come in. Yeah? Okay, and then we have data-driven decision making. This is, wow, you hear this so much, it's the same as AI. You hear this so much, data-driven decision making, but how do we actually implement it? How do companies actually make decisions based on data? That's what I want to know.
Will that ever happen on Aruba?
Well, I hope it does. That's why we're here. So, but yeah, no, data-driven decision making is very, very, very important when you are creating a tech product, because if you have a tech product and there's 1 million users, one person cannot speak for 1 million users. So you must be able to understand the data of that 1 million users in order to create valuable features for your product. And because we are a product-centric organization, the whole organization revolves around the product. So that means if you do not understand the data of your product, you're not going to understand how your whole organization works. So making decisions not based on data, I find it very scary. So yeah, for me that's this is my last slide, and for me the importance of having more product-centric organizations on less developed countries is of utmost importance if we want to implement a tech sector or if a company wants to become more tech forward.
Why should the Scrum Master and Product Owner be different people?
That's actually a super awesome question. Really, this is a question that we receive on a daily basis, or you see also product owners wanting to be Scrum Master. But the reason that you need a one product owner and a Scrum Master is because a product owner is ensures to steer a team towards a specific vision and collecting requirements and creating features to develop in the application. So the purpose of the Scrum Master is to guide the whole process. So if you as a product owner are also a Scrum Master, means that you are monitoring your own implementation of the Agile Scrum process. So it's like how do you say it? It's like okay, it's like you're in a team with yourself and you have to give yourself feedback from something that you're doing but that you have to do with other people. You get? So it's impossible for you to guide. No, it's not impossible because there's organizations out there that have product owner and Scrum Masters, but it's best to have them separately because you want someone else to guide the whole Agile Scrum process. It's just common knowledge that a product owner cannot monitor the implementation of Agile Scrum by itself. It has to be done by someone else. Otherwise, it's not efficient. A lot of people do take accountability for their own actions, but there's a lot of people that do not take accountability for their own actions. So there has to be someone that takes accountability for them or tells them, hey, you know what, you're not doing something correct, and are you going to improve it, yes or no? So it's basically, hey, I have to monitor you. A very long answer, but that's it. Did I answer your question? You sure? you just need, it's like you have your mother, you know, like it's like questions like, why do you need your mother? You know, you need your mother because she needs to guide you through life, etc., etc. That's the same with Agile Scrum. You need a Scrum Master to guide you through the process.
Why should a company use Scrum instead of a different system?
Oh, that's dang. That's actually an amazing question. So there's another framework that's called Waterfall. And you hear JP's reaction. So Waterfall, what is it actually? Waterfall is, so you have a project that has phase 1, 2, and 3. So Waterfall means that you first have to finish phase 1, then you start with phase 2, then with phase 3. And those phases sometimes take between like 1 to 6 months and maybe even 1 year, you know? So what I'm saying with that is it takes a very long time to release. With Agile Scrum, the purpose is to continuously release as fast as possible in order for you to be to remain innovative and gain competitive advantage within the specific industry that you are in. So if you are in an organization that wants to release as fast as possible, then you should implement Agile Scrum. If you are an organization that wants to release in 2 years, then you should implement other frameworks. So it's basically, if you want to be fast, Agile Scrum is the framework to use. It's a very popular one. I mean, there's others out there also, and I'm sure in the future there's going to be other frameworks that is not Agile Scrum that maybe is faster and better. But for now, this is the one for agility and fast releases. Any more questions to challenge me?
So, I'll ask this question and it makes sense. What are some limitations of being a product owner? So, for example, based on my very little understanding, I suppose it depends if you're working on something that's your own idea, or if you're working on someone else's idea and you're trying to make it manifest into actuality. So what are some limitations?
Yeah.
Is it like financial? Is it? I guess it also depends on your team, but is there like any creative limitations that you're like, I don't know how to manifest this into actuality. It's just there's something there, but I don't know how to make it reality.
Yeah. That is also an amazing question. So from my experience, for example, is okay, we're launching a mobile application, and I know in my mind I have an idea. I want the app to look as awesome, as cool as possible. But I do not know how to translate my idea to someone or by me doing it. So that is when the importance of having the proper skills and expertise within your team comes in. Because if we have, for example, a UI UXer, which is the one that is going to design the application and everything, then I can communicate my idea, and then he will execute it, and then we will continuously develop and communicate between each other to see if he understands my idea or not. So the limitations of a product owner in relation to the ideas that you have, I would say the most crucial one is not having the right people within your team with the right skills. Because at the end of the day, a product owner only has an idea, and the product owner most of the time cannot execute it. So without execution, there is nothing. So having the proper team, the proper people in your team is important, and that is my biggest limitation if I can. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So yeah, that is it for me. I think that is it for me.
You killed it.
Uh-huh. Thank you, people. Okay, I'm not going to ask if there's no more question because there was enough for today.
Wow, thank you for your presentation. Guys, awesome questions.
Yeah, very nice.
Kids should look up to you and say, hey, I should do the same and ask all these type of questions.
Def.
And not be afraid to ask questions. So, pretty cool. Keep it up. Do I have questions? No. You basically explain everything into detail, so it's good.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, we will take a 5-minute break for our next speaker, and then Miklos will be the next one presenting.
Jesus, you guys want
In English or Pagano?
English. Yeah. All right. We have our last presenter, Miklos Petronia, and he will talk about his adventure delving into the coding world. Take it away.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Miklos Petronia. Yes, so I'm thankful to be here. I just came from work, and the traffic was so much, and I was like, okay, I have to reach on time, and I don't know if I was gonna reach on time. So yeah, it was really slow, but I'm glad I'm here. So my name is Miklos Petronia, and the topic is tech inception, my first dive into the code realms. I never code, but I learned, well, okay, I can't say I never code now, I actually code, but I learned about coding, but my actual background, sorry? So I went to study in the Netherlands in Rotterdam Business School, same with Miss Leclerc, that study at Hogeschool Rotterdam. So I have a bachelor degree in business administration. Then I did my pre-masters, and then I did my Master of Science in Strategic Entrepreneurship at Rotterdam School of Management, Erasmus University. So, but what I noticed is that, okay, we learn so much, okay, about business background, but in reality, I have no technical skill sets. And I can recall that I read an article, so that once you go to an investor, right, investor, you have your business idea, and you want to present it to them, and you want to get investment, they prefer actual people with at least some technical background. So in the pre-master program, I got introduced to a bit of coding, like for example, to do some statistical analysis. We use a program called RStudio, and they provide you can basically calculate your statistical analysis with that program. So it's almost like you can basically like a small introduction with coding. But I realized that, okay, still have no technical background after I completed my master program. So after I came back to Aruba to be closer here to the family. Then I went to the States to look to some opportunities. And I saw a course, a coding bootcamp from Columbia Engineering. And I saw coding and cybersecurity. Actually, I enrolled for both of them. But they told me I cannot do both. I can do only one. So I was like, okay. So I had to do only coding. I had to choose one, so I chose coding because for me, I thought, okay, that's the basic thing, and for at least to start my process in the tech, right? So to get some skills in that. So it's a 24-week intensive courses, 3 times per week. Lots of projects, lots of group projects as well, and yeah, it was really intensive. It was like 3 hours, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. So every day after work. So I did that, and I'm basically once you have like a good program, a good technical background. These are the roles that you can start to work in, like full stack developer, front end web developer, back end web developer, product manager, technical projects, you name it, web designer, web producer, technical business analyst. I would like to ask, who of you ever code already? Yes? Okay, everyone, right? So everyone here in this room. So that's good. That's really great, so that we have some people that in Aruba that can go into that. And I myself, yeah, it's all about practice. It's all about doing more than you can. So, yeah, what I've learned in the course, I have learned to work with, we got some introduction to computer science applied in JavaScript. Databases like MongoDB, MySQL, server side. You know, I don't want to go very deep into technical stuff, but yeah, it's all technical stuff, as you can see. But in my experience, once I first started this, it was like, okay, what is this? What is that? It was very, very because yeah, from the business background, you will have a lot of theory. You have to group projects, but no technical stuff. But in the beginning, it was very hard to understand, you know, the different aspect like git commits, git adds, because we also have to use GitHub to upload our all our files and use the terminal bashes and the commands, and it was really hard to, you know, get the process going. But as the course lecturer said, you have to continue, you know, striving where you want to go and where you want to be at. And I myself, I know myself, I like to study, I like to go in great details until I understand what I'm doing, because it's for me. It's for my own future. It's not for no one else. I want to do this, and I want to combine the business aspect and the technical aspect. And it's a, you know, it's a first step in the technical field. Why? Because right now in the U.S., there's a lot of things going on right now, right? The AI, a lot of startups a lot of young people are going into the AI industry, right? Students are actually dropping out of school to start their own ventures in the AI. So it's like another booming rush that people are getting into. And for me, like starting in this field, okay, it's a first beginning stage. Then I can continue to maybe learn some other stuff. Maybe learn Python, maybe learn machine learning or other subjects that are of my interest that I can use, you know, or other people that we can collaborate and join together and continue. For me, it was important to learn this. Why? Because as a, you know, once you have an idea of a business, it's good to talk to other people that have the same technical ideas as you, you know? Not technical ideas, but you understand the language. The language that is the common language that is being spoken to a person that is very more technical than you. So that is for me important. At least that I can keep up to the conversation, right? I don't have to be an expert. But at least I understand what is being done and what is being said. That I can engage in the projects and in the development of the things. So that's why I joined one of these courses. And there are plenty of courses online, even for free, that you can join and that you can do. Maybe Jean-Pierre can provide you with that information. But there are plenty of courses online that you can do that is accessible, even for free. Yes. So the things we learned to work with GitHub. GitHub is a platform that we can use to host repositories and collaborate with others. And this is the thing about this field, that it's a very collaborative work. It's you can work on by yourself, but you will have to work with other developers. And I think you mentioned about the agile method, right? The agile method I think it's the waterfall method, that you constantly have to, agile method is better. You have to constantly reiterate and redo and this and that. The business aspect is like that. They took the agile method from actually the software development team. So you have to constantly develop and reiterate and change things. So we use Visual Studio. That's where the programming is done. Terminal bash is the command line interface that we can use to put the codes into the Visual Studio. So we work with the HTML. HTML is the basic type of, the first building blocks of the documents. So you have the title, the head, the body, and you finish it with the HTML and with the brackets. CSS is, for example, you try to put the colors within the website. yes, colors or different graphics as well, and making maybe the blocks a bit bigger, or from the title, the body, and the footer as well, different colors as well. Yes, then you have the program itself, JavaScript, and you can make it do stuff like, say, like alert hello world, and hello world pops up on the screen as well, and you have different API application. And one API application is we use the Open Weather app. APIs are like, okay, they're making other programs, I think, on the internet to talk to each other and produce something to you, and provides the weather map information once you put the APIs into the program. And okay, then you have different server side as well, and third-party server side. And Node.js is not actually, okay, it's not not a database, but a program where the JavaScripts are set on that can work and make it better, right? So yes, it's very fun for me to talk about this technical stuff. This is my first time, like, actually try to speak the language of these technical things, and so this is really good, getting out of my comfort zone. But yeah, that's the field, and I respect these people that are really very deep into these things. Object-oriented programming. Okay, these are, if I'm not mistaken, classes that you can build building blocks and with method and functions. And for example, you have a car. What is the building block of the car? Okay, it's a bit big. But what is the function? The function is moving, maybe a different actual function that makes it work as well. Or speed, or colors, right? And you have others program as well, like Express.js, SQL. SQL stands for Structured Query Language, and different other programs as well that, it's a lot to do. Yes, like for example, progressive web application. That is, for example, it's not complete, but you can see, but progressive web application is like, okay, once your program you can let your program go offline and you have an app. Yes. React, I think one of my projects, I really like React and Mern, because it's more complicated. I think it lets the things work better without that you have to use the HTML, and that is what I really like about that. And Stripe is like a payment processing platform, like that you can that is a method that a program that you can let other people to make the payment online. I will show you one of the projects that we did as well. Yes, I want to go to it's online, right? All right. This is my GitHub. Yeah, this is me. I just graduated last year. No, 2021, not last year. Yeah, at Erasmus. And if I go to portfolio, these are all the projects that we develop. All these projects, like note takers, working groups, and this is, this is the project Phantom Plates. If I go here, I can view the repository. It will show me GitHub, and this is the GitHub where you provide all the codes and you insert all the codes. So we are a group of me, Steven, and another person, Daniel, and we work on these projects. And you have seeds, utils views, git ignore, and different packages that you can use to let your codes work. But let's see the project itself. I have to go back, right? Mhm. The project. Yes, so we did like a kitchen. We want people to go on the website and see which type of kitchen there are placed in New York, and maybe a person that has a kitchen that provides different menus, and in how many minutes they will deliver, in how many time, with like 45 minutes, and the dish is a small kitchen specializing in classic American dish. So yeah, this is a project, and you can also log in and go to the home page. Yeah, this is a project that me and the team worked on, and I think we got a good grade, one of the highest grade in the project. A lot of students did some cool stuff as well. And what is interesting is, about this field is you're trying to solve with code. You try to solve real world problems. You know, you can come with a business idea, but through web development or coding, and you provide a service. And you mentioned about UX UI. That's a good thing, maybe to understand your customers, or try to provide a identify the problem, find a solution. Okay, but what solution? You can build a prototype, but maybe you can build a prototype through web, or you name it, right? But first, the key thing, and now I'm speaking business terms, the key thing is to identify the problem, right? Identify the problem. What is the problem? Because you don't want to build something and then that is not something that your customer wants. You want to build something that is what your customer is really need. You have to find a job. What is it that they want to get done? What is it that they need? And then based on that, okay, you have your observation good. Then you try to build something, and then maybe you can start, try to code, prototype it, and talk to your customer. Okay, is this what you need? Is this and that? And you change it afterwards, right? So that's that. Let me go back. I have to continue to do this. Go. So there's more projects. E-commerce. Here is the work with Stripe, that people could just go shop online. This is the go shop online with Stripe, that you can purchase some items that is needed. Maybe have you ever used Stripe before? No.
They don't accept the cards.
Here, no?
I can't make a Stripe account.
Okay. Yeah. So Stripe also is a method that people can use to let other people pay online. And yeah, as a business, that's important. Because I want to learn that, because that's the first thing. To make money. So let me go back to the slide. Yes. So that was there are more projects I can show as well, or you can find the link. But then, so right now, what I'm doing, I'm currently actually working with Credits as a financial organization to help entrepreneurs as well. And aside that, I'm working with a Stichting, a non-profit organization that helps, that we want to help students from GDG San Nicolas with financing that students that are in financial need. So my task is to build a website, and I'm using those skill sets to try to build a website to help the team. And like today's self, we have a fundraising event. Well, we have a fundraising event at Monila's Kitchen, so I have to go after this to meet them. So that's my task, and I'm sure I will do many more projects, many more things, and learn more about the field and different codes. So I'm very, very happy about that. So what I've learned, I learned that this is a collaborative field. That's why when Minister Jean-Pierre asked me, hey, you wanna join this? I said, hey, yes, put me in. And I'm glad I'm here. So, but to talk to other developers, to learn more about the field, and to contribute in some way, right? Because in Aruba, we really need it. We need more tech people that more involved. And as mentioned, don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid. Just ask questions. Just to learn. It's for your own knowledge. You want to know more? Go for it. There's a saying: "Closed mouth they don't get fed." Right? That was a saying from our course teacher. Closed mouth don't get fed. So we have to ask questions if you don't understand. So don't be afraid in asking questions. And practice. It makes perfect. Maybe it will not work. That's the thing. With code, you have to debug a lot. You have to do trial and error. You're gonna get frustrated, but stay patient. I didn't put that. Stay patient and just keep going at it until you get it right. You know what? Use this tool, ChatGPT, to try to help you to debug stuff. If you don't understand it, use it. I try to use it. that's my friend right now, because it provides me the information that I need to continue to help me with the code, and it helps me to understand. And set a time to develop. Set a time maybe after school or after work or after gym or in the morning. Set a time to develop at least something to prototype. I'm saying that for myself because I'm busy, work, gym, stick thing, and I have to do this, right? So set a time to develop and read books, articles about computer science things to go deeper into that field. And one of the advice that I received as well is to listen to podcasts in the tech development field, right? To see what trends is going on in the field so that you're up to date. So yeah, for me, future projects is finish this website for the organization, learn more about coding projects. Maybe I will go into Python, to do that. Gain new technical skill sets from various courses that I find interesting, that are offered online, and explore future tech development projects and lessons that I can study and further my business and tech skills. So that's what I would like to do. So that's it. I hope you enjoy. I hope you find this useful, and thank you for listening. Do you have any questions? Yes, sir.
How do you? So you mentioned you use AI to help you.
ChatGPT?
ChatGPT to help you. Say it again, please.
Debug. Well,
How do you do that?
Like for example, if I get an error or something, you will get an error. Okay, that this error is because you did not apply this and that. Okay, but what is the term that the terminal is giving me? And I copy paste it and put it on ChatGPT. Okay, and it explains me. Okay, you have to use Firebase. Okay, what is Firebase? And it explains me. Okay, it explains me, and I get more deeper, more my knowledge, more into that, and you gain more knowledge, and then you try. Okay, you learn about that. What is Firebase? You learn about the descriptions, and then you can try to fix the problem. That is how I use it. But ChatGPT, I use it maybe for other things as well. For things that I want to learn, books, you name it, different things. Yes?
No other questions?
No? Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you, Japan.
Yeah, man. Nicholas, thanks a lot for coming, and I really like the journey that you did on ending up in the coding world. That's like super cool. From the business world to the coding world, that's a huge step.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it's a big step.
Yeah. But keep it up. Keep on doing it, and we need more guys like you to
Thank you, sir.
put business and tech in one. All right, guys. This is like the last presenter. We're going to round it up, so we will call it a wrap. Till next year. Yay! Bye-bye.